go. Figo down the inside of Sexy Rexy. Is he going to get the job done at the moment? They're side by side staying in it here. He is not, no. Oh, look at this. Neither driver giving an inch. And Bathurst is thank you. And Brocky is through. Before you go, Heat, don't forget to follow this channel. But he's gone too deep. Has got away cleanly right down to Jimbledon. Down.
Going on for now, and they're still separated by a cigarette.
Down here, if you don't mind, 13, 14, 15, 14, 15, 16, all together as thunder.
Yes, he's
inside. Is he going to make it stick? He sent it, and he's through. Good morning, good afternoon, or good evening, wherever you're watching right around the world. It's time for a new KRL season, and what better place to kick it off than Mount Panorama, the famous Bathurst. We saw the 12 hours of Bathurst a couple of days ago, and that was an absolute ripper, and we are in for a lot more of the same. I've got to say, Binger, oh, that's so close to the wall, as I welcome my co-commentator, the great man. He's back again. The suave Englishman from Perth. Hello, possums, he says. And boy, did I hear all about that off air tonight as we were sorting out some technical issues. I say hello to Bullseye, Bob Hoskins. Good evening to you, Bobby. Another season, here we go.
Yeah, no, looking forward to it, mate. It's going to be a bit of a doozy. We've got some strange PS stuff going on at the moment. I have got buildings on the pitch straight, but we'll see what we can do for the boys tonight.
There we go. Well, while you've pitched a 10 on the start-finish straight, that's a rather strange place to set up camp there, Bob. We, like we said, we had a few issues leading into tonight. Wouldn't be a stream without a few issues, would it, Bullseye? But let us know in the comments. Beautiful people. Look at this. Rain of Fire. Burrow Dog says, looking awesome, lads. You're pretty good yourself. Giddy Up, says Andrelli. Liking the look of those thumbnails. Says Andrelli. I wonder who did those. Absolutely fantastic stuff as we see Cider WG2 with a 203.782. Now this championship, I've got to say, this championship is going to be absolutely fantastic. We've got, what do we got here, please, Bob? We've got round one here tonight and 10-minute qualifying session. And if my dog could stop barking, that would also be fantastic. Long formation lap followed by a 70-minute race. Mandatory pit stop for fuel, minimum 25-second stop. Tyres are optional, but Bobby, you'll have to whack an extra 5 seconds on there. Weather 25 degrees, 0%, 0 percentile of rain, which means we have a 76% chance of a full dry race actually, with the weather randomizer. 4% chance of a full wet race and 20% chance of a mixed weather race. And Bob, if you can follow all of that, you're a better man than me.
Yeah, no, it's a bit of a gamble, but you can have the strange ones where all of a sudden, you know, quali's going to be dry, and then we end up with a wet race. It's going to be a gamble.
Off the track is Cider WG2. How would you say that name, Bob?
Cydorg. So
Cydorg, sorry, there we go.
If it's the same chap that I'm thinking of, he was a very high-ranking Gran Turismo driver.
Nice one.
So,
and well, we've got some guys coming back into the pits. It is Cydorg. If his mother's watching, I've said that right. He's half a second ahead of second and third. I've got to say, 2:03.7. That's pretty handy so far as we look at Wilco coming over the top of the mountain for the first time.
Yeah, so Cloquet, he was a shakedown driver, and that was he's got a daughter called Chloe and a boy called Caden, so that's how he's made his name up.
Cloquet, like it. Sidorg, Cloquet, they're keeping us on our toes tonight. Jason Wilkinson, that's an easy one. Figo, some familiar names here. My Bingerling, Craigo, vintage racer, met him at Sandown last year, great bloke. And oh my, that's right, Bob, we've got 99 followers on Twitch. We picked up a few with the endurance race a couple of weeks ago. We're getting close to that 100 mark, so please, if you're out there, if you can find somebody to follow, that would be absolutely magnificent. As we take a look at Markle on Conrod Straight here, going very slowly indeed. Has he got a problem? He's currently sitting in P8, and he might be heading back to the pits. I think Disco Stu, he looks to be starting a lap. Very tight in that midfield there, Bob. You can see from 8th to down to 12th. Not too much between them there in the middle.
Yeah, so it looks as if we've got, it looks like 3 groups really. Obviously, you've got all the guys that are within a second. You can't write any of those top 5 off, to be honest. I mean, Binger's, shown how strong he is around Bathurst. Figo, you can never write him off. He's comfortable in the Porsche, although this is the Cup. Wilco, obviously, he picks up his time whenever he gets on. Cloquet, that's very high for him, I believe. That's very respectable time. Sidorg, if it is the person I'm thinking of, he's just showing his pedigree, moving sims.
And it's all happening. It's all happening here at the moment. And that is qualifying done, I believe, Bob. And thank you, the hype train. It's all up and about. Everyone's up and about, aren't they? Voodoo gifted a tier 1 sub to Rain of Fire. Let us know if those sound effects are coming through okay. F2, Trevor, change the cameras. There you go. And we've got a 70-minute race. But before that, Bob, we've got a long formation lap.
Yeah, so they'll be using this, as much as they can, just to make sure that they've got all the temp in those tyres. That's going to be the biggest thing around here, I think. 70-minute race. Can someone make their tyres last in these cars? I think it's going to be a bit of a tough ask for a lot of the guys out there. And
you can see Sidorg, Cloquet alongside him on the front row of the grid. Jason Wilkinson, the man from Carrum Downs there. Starting that second row of the grid. Figo in 4th, My Bingerling and Craigio in 6th, and then Vintage Racer 7th, Markle. Start of a new season. You're nervous, Bob? How good is this? It's exciting. And couldn't hear those sound effects. That's all right. We'll fix that up throughout the course of the week. Blurb sound effects. Let's just have a look. And I'm not sure what's going on there. I don't speak that sort of language. But we'll get that sorted out, Voodoo. And there was a code or something. This is fantastic. Well, that's all right. I'll do the Murray Walker stuff instead. Choose me. The hype train is close. Are we close to 100 subscribers? Speedy Boys, surely a literal slime. First-time chatter, first-time follower as well. It's great to have your company with us because this is about to go down big time. 70-minute race, like we said. Mandatory pit stops. And if Chad Nayland on that would shut up there on the... I can just hear myself. Thank you, Chad, there in the game, of course, as the voiceover at the track. Like we said, no safety car, in-game start time of 6 p.m. And you can see there, long formation lap, like we mentioned, 70-minute race. And my goodness, we've got a field... thank you, Race Control. We've got a field of, 20, I think, Bob, for tonight.
Yeah, 20 cars out there. Obviously, the track isn't a wide track, so we're going to see a lot of bunching. Hopefully everyone makes the first couple of laps clean, and then we don't end up with half the field taken out, the first trip across the top.
There we have it. So we're going to see Plenty of action tonight, as that is me into the pit lane. And there we have it. Huge J1M is now following. That's our 100th follower, Bob. I'm trying to work out the keyboard. There we go, I've got it. That is our 100th follower, Bob. How good is this? 100 followers. Let's go. That is the 100th person. I might be able to. I'm going to ring my boss tomorrow and say, that's it. I'm done with this. Take this job and shove it. I'm going to Twitch full time from now on. Don't even try to stand in my way, because I'm walking out the door. And we couldn't have done it. Couldn't have done that singing without a tremendous amount of talent. But Burra loving the singing there and totally lost the plot here. But 100 followers. And we started this little adventure not too many months ago. And now we've hit the 100. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic! Thank you, Murray. We can't get those sound effects working tonight, but I'll have to do them instead, as we've got the formation lap and the drivers, all 20-something of them, climbing the mountain ever so slowly. Next time around, it won't be as slow as this, Bob, because it's going to be anger for the first time.
Yeah, so, yeah, the guys are just going to be having to prep these cars as much as they can. You're going to have some people in the middle of the pack that I think they're going to struggle a little bit. Luckily, on this format, we have ghosting, so, you know, we shouldn't have any trip-ups in this warm-up lap.
We shouldn't. Oh, my goodness. This is fantastic, because Matt Simmons has joined us. And if you don't know who that is, Bob, you should, because that is the man from Gran Turismo 7. That's right, the man whose AI I get a little bit argy-bargy with when I play Gran Turismo 7. Matt, that's right, the Matt Simmons has joined us. So that is fantastic. We saw him in the endurance race a couple of weeks ago, and he is a fantastic bloke. And hopefully that chat will disappear from the screen. But hello, Matt. It is great to have you with us. And what a time to join, Bob, because we are almost ready for 70 minutes, 70 minutes of racing action here at Mount Panorama.
Yeah, so I think if Matt is going to be joining at any stage, I think he's going to be keeping an eye on, you know, how Sidor gets on and stuff. You know, some people can change titles and they can, you know, race across all the different formats. Others, you know, need like a bedding in period. So it'd be great to see Matt out there. I know how quick he was on Gran Turismo. Very quick indeed, and quick is the buzzword, isn't it? Keen to see you on the grid in the not too distant future. I'm not sure whether that'll be happening, Burra. I'm needed up here in the commentary box, but that's good to know. Thank you. I'll be there. Keep the throne warm, says Footnar. And kidding, that is fantastic. As this chat is just got a mind of its own. Matt, what's going on? I'll be very keen once uni is all sorted. That is fantastic. But Psydorg in P1. And Clocade P2, and look at the rest of them. Hoping everyone can get away cleanly, but we'll wait and see. Easier said than done. And now the mind games begin, Bob, as we come up to Murray's Corner and we get ready to go racing here. The calm before the storm here, ladies and gentlemen. 20 drivers here for round 1 of season 4. The Cup Car Enduro series here. It's time for round 1. Are you ready at home? We sure are. Let's go racing very shortly. We're almost away. Come on, let's get on with it. 3, 2, 1. We're almost ready. Are you ready?
Green light, green light.
Go, go, go! Green, and away we go. Sidor with a good start. Down the inside, can he maintain the lead heading into turn 1? Clocade holds the outside as we head up the mountain for the first time. Wilco slotting into third. Figo not too far behind him. But I reckon Figo is having a look at Clocaid and Wilco's having a look at Sidorg. I reckon Wilco's up into P2 at the start of this race. Now he covers off Clocaid. There's a turn 1 incident. Something's happened down the back. We'll get to that, but it's Wilco in second. Sidorg holds the lead off the line. Hectic start here, and we've got 70 minutes to go, Bob.
Yeah, so it's nice to see, the front bunch, they've all made it through clean. There's, a little bit of chopping and changing, but they've settled in. Let's just hope they all get across the top of the mountain cleanly.
Let's have a look. Turn 1 incident. Thank you, Rain of Fire. Nope, well done, lads, he says. Head in his hands, Voodoo, he can't watch. Oh my goodness! There we go, Voodoo. Thank you, Voodoo. You're an absolute champion. Look at that. Lap number 1 here. Out of however many we can get into the next 70 minutes. It's so tight at the top of the mountain. We saw this in the endurance race a couple of weeks ago. The pressure and the intensity of these opening laps. Drivers trying to find a rhythm, trying to find space, trying to keep it clean and not get involved in any incidents. As we come down Conrod Straight for the first time, it's Sidorg. And then it's Wilco in second. Clocaid in third. He will not be happy with that start. He's lost a place already. Then it is Figo slotting into P4. My Bingaling, Crago, Vintage Racer 7th. Markle as they all stream down. Conrod Straight, V8 man, Darst rounding out the top 10, Disco Stew. Then it's Branchy, Sideways Polka, Son of Spawn. Harvey then Vibesy. Beaky, we'll get a look at that livery. Heat in 19th, and then it's Beaky. If we can have a look at that livery, please. And it looks pretty nice indeed. Bit of a Queensland vibe to it there. Bright and very nice looking indeed. He is down the back of the field, end of lap 1. And there's still nothing in it. Wilco in second place, Bob, with the fastest lap of the race.
Yeah, with that position that he made at the start, that obviously gave him the quicker lap time. So, yeah, it'll be interesting to see if these top 5 stay together. What's happened? Binger has dropped down. Binger's in the pits.
And Binger has come into the pits. We didn't see what happened. He's come into the pits, and I've got to say, has he got damage there? And Matt Simmons, and when Matt Simmons comments, I listen and I watch. Great first lap by everybody. Will be a great battle for the lead, and never have I heard truer words spoken than that, because Wilco is all over the back of Sidorg, and this battle is going to be absolutely huge. As Donald Trump would say, where else would you want to be? It's huge. And thank you, that's not a great impression of Donald Trump, but with 1 hour, 6 minutes and 42 seconds to go here at Mount Panorama, it's going to be huge. That's right, Footnar, great stream. Beaky rocking the RPR Firestorm colours. That looked absolutely fantastic. We'll keep an eye on him, Rain of Fire, down there in 19th place. But the energy, Bob, we've got to bring the energy here tonight, because it's going to be an absolute cracker all night here.
Yeah, so I'm quickly just whizzing through the replay to find out what happened to Binger, because it's particularly uncharacteristic of him, especially around Bathurst. He's shown his pedigree in all the different formats that we've run here. So I'm just hoping he's not out of it.
People absolutely loving the commentary. And a lot of that has got to do with Bob Hoskins, the Englishman. And when you combine a rough Australian voice and a beautiful English voice like yourself, Bob, you just get the perfect couple. Knox Rye 184. Good luck, lads. Wish I had the time to join you in the race. Well, you can do better than that. You can follow us here tonight on the Kid Buyers Twitch channel. This is round 1 of a new season, and it's going to be absolutely fantastic. 8 rounds. We've got Enduro rounds as well, and this one to kick us off tonight is one of those endurance races, as it looks like Sidorg pulling away ever so slightly there, Bob. That leads 0.6 of a second, but Clocaid, the man who got his PSN from his children, of course, Chloe and Caden, great idea, absolutely fantastic. Figo in 4th, but pressure now coming onto Wilco here in P2. And you can see Figo, then there's a gap down to Crago. 2.4 further back, Vintage Racer. keeps to himself, but he's doing very nicely indeed. Currently in P6, trying to hold off Megan Markle there in P7. Then it's the Queenslander V8 man in that jazzy-looking livery. And these cars, they can reward you, but they can also bite you as well, can't they, Bob? They can be very, very twitchy over the bumps.
Yeah, that was something that Wilco was suffering with in the practice sessions. He said it was like a pogo, you know, across the top of the mountain. So, yeah, the setups that I think they'll want to try and soften the car as much as they can. They're going to have to look after the tyres. They can't afford for it to be too stiff.
There we have it. So Seidorf still leading that gap. Now a second. Mandatory pit stops tonight, of course, and I think Wilco's had to change his focus here, Bob. Not so much from Seidorf in P1, but more holding off Cloquet here, as you can see, down into Murray's corner. It's a complete lap 2. He's getting very close, and we've seen this man absorb pressure. We saw it. We had 3 hours around here a couple of weeks ago in the Endurance League, and I've got to say that he's one man that can soak up that pressure and not get too phased by it. But there we can see first, second and third separated by 1 and a bit seconds already. 3.3 now further back to Figo. And apart from a pit stop from Binger, who's now down in 18th, we had a fairly clean start by the looks of it, Bob.
Yeah, so I finally got to watch Binger, and he made the conscious decisions come in and pit. So I don't know if he... I don't know if maybe he didn't put enough fuel in, he was still on his quali setup, or what, or he's just chosen to get the clean track. But yeah, it'd be interesting to see what happens and see how this plays out.
Certainly will be, as we see Binger now. Don't forget to follow Noxie there, and don't forget to follow. That would be fantastic. We've hit the 100. And there you have it. So Binger, like we heard Bob say, he made a conscious effort to come into the pits. And the opposite thing to do would be an unconscious effort to get into the pits. And help me out, Bob, because I'm not sure where I'm going with that. Binger down in P18 with plenty of work to do, however.
Yeah, easiest way to say is there was no incident. He actually deliberately came into the pits.
Massive undercut. That's right, Matt. And there we have it. Binger undercut strat, LOL. Thank you for the follows, Andrelli. I thought Andrelli was already following, but there you go. Huge J1M and Seidorf, who has followed. And he's also leading the race. A man of many talents, Bob.
Yeah, no, if it is the same guy that I'm thinking of, yeah, he should show his true pedigree as this race goes on. He was a phenomenally fast driver on Gran Turismo. And
there we have it, Seidorf. From one fast driver on Gran Turismo to another. No, not me. I just get on and do the 42-point-something kilometres to get that, to get the 10,000 credits. And there we have it. Can confirm it's the guy. That's right. Thank you, Burra, for confirming that. And we might have to do a stream on Gran Turismo at one of these days. But Cloquet is keeping Wilco very honest. And I'm not sure what is going through the mind of Jason Wilkinson with his extremely sweaty palms on his wheel sitting there in Carrum Downs, Bob. But what is he thinking at the moment? You've been in this position. We all have been in this position. And he's got Cloquet right up his ginger now, and he cannot afford to make the slightest error here, can he?
No, that's the only thing that will be in his mind, is keep it clean. You know, the worst thing you can do is, you know, let yourself get spooked, and, you know, any contact with these walls across the top, that's race over.
And there we have it. It is the real guy. That's right, Burra. It is race over. If you do hit those walls. Hello, there's Seidorf putting in a very, very quick lap last time around. And we might take a look at the drivers lower down the order. That's right, Matt Simmons and I pretty tight in the sim racing world. Figo down there in fourth. He's dropped 3.7 seconds further back. So it's we've got our top three, and then it starts from Figo to Crago. Simon doing Simon things, absolutely flying at the moment. And he's just toying with him, isn't he, Bob? 2.5 seconds now, that gap, and we're only on lap 4 of this race.
Yeah, so this is what I was trying to, allude to earlier, was the guys have got to make a conscious effort to look after these tyres. The Cup, as everyone that's driven them knows, it lights the rears up, so you will suffer with your rear tyres unless you are, driving within the car.
Less than an hour to go now. We've ticked over, I should say, 10 minutes in this race now. 11 minutes gone, 59 minutes to go. And I commentated for 3 hours a couple of weeks ago, so this shouldn't be too much of an issue. The next hour, that's for sure. Crago then down there in P5, so the field's spreading out a little bit. Is that somebody off the track? No, it isn't, I beg your pardon. V8 man, P8 Disco Stu. This is the closest battle, or one of the closest battles on the track. I'll stop it, used to. Get a room. Footnar and Matt Simmons getting very friendly in the chat. But please, I would encourage you to do so, because that stops me from singing. Oh, and that looked like somebody, Disco Stu, having a little bit of a moment there. And I caught the back end of that, but he's dropped back a few tenths. We look at Harvey. And the battle's continuing right the way through this order. Vibesy, is that a new version of Good Vibes, Bob, at all? Is it Vibesy 64 there?
Yes, that would be Good Vibes.
As we're getting news through from Matt Simmons that Cloquet has dropped well down now behind Wilco. He was all up in his business. We said that at the start of this lap, but now he's 2 and a bit seconds further down. Didn't see what happened there, Bob. Could have been an incident potentially, but now we're seeing gaps form. We've got Sidorg 2.7 in front of Wilco, and then Cloquet now 3.2 seconds. Not sure what happened there, Bob. Could have been a mistake at the top of the hill.
Yeah, I'd say it was only very slight because, if you look down the leaderboard, most of the gaps are sort of 2 to 2.5 seconds. So that must be, where the guys feel comfortable following. So, yeah, we might just see strategy come into this a little bit. And, when they take the pit stops, will they get the undercut, the overcut? We've got to move Kilroy on Son of Spawn Dad coming down into the last corner.
There we have it. We'll get to that. Got to remember that I've got a keyboard. And look at this. Get to the chopper. And the chopper cam. Doof, 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 doof. How good is that? And across the start-finish line. I think he's got it done there, Bob. I think so. And yes, he certainly has. Perfect directing there, Mr. Cameraman, because we've seen that battle happen. And if I can just get back to... Yep, there it is. Kilroy has got it done, Bob, heading up the mountain.
Yeah, so that has also dragged, a few others into this scrap. So Mayo now is having a look at Son of Spawn.
So let's have a look. So Mayo now also dipping his bread into this battle. And you can see Vibesy also not too far behind. Sideways Polka. Then it's Saint Sim, Heat XL. Haven't called his name too much tonight, but he's still with us in this race. Nice view of the mountain there as the cameraman catches up. Binger. That strategy, Bob, not appearing to work at the moment, but we've still got a long way to go in this one.
Yeah, so let's wait until the timing updates, and then we can see how far Binger is back from... Right, so he's 9 seconds behind Heat. So... I don't know how far it, could potentially lift him up the order, but he is actually in the fight.
As we see, Beaky's in the pits, still in the pits. You can see they're rocking those RPR colours, I think it was, but Dask is right at the back of this field. As Footnar says, reckon Binger's going to come out P2. He'll be setting fast ones. So we'll keep an eye out for that. But he is the first of those drivers to make a stop, lap number 7. And at the moment, you've got to say, Sidorg appears to be controlling things at the front. Wilco still hanging in there. But boy, he has got a lot of work to do. So do the rest of them. if he's going to be in this one tonight. Looking for the win here as Albert, the man who was on the mountain over the weekend. He says, Buenos nachos. I'll try and just translate this into Spanish, Bob, if I can. He says, hello, my friends. My favorite driver is Fernando Alonso, and my second favorite driver is Jason Wilkinson. And that is, he's a top bloke. And I've got to say, I've got to admit this now, Bob, that I was getting some pictures and video footage from the Bathurst 12-hour, courtesy of that man, Albert. And I've got to say, he was waving the Spanish flag on Conrod Straight. And once I saw that video, it went straight to the camera reel. And I'm not even afraid to say it, Bob.
Sorry, I was totally distracted there. I was trying to figure out what kind of pace Binger was running. I completely switched off.
That's all right.
I do
That's all right.
apologise.
I switched off a little while ago myself. But hang on, let me get my train of thought back. Not particularly driven has joined the chat. And he says, or she says, if Psydog were a fine, rich Indian curry, he would be the goat curry. That is a little bit, not sure if we can say that, but I can tell you what you can do. You can click that follow button and donate to a great cause. And then I won't have to go to work tomorrow because I can Twitch full time. I'll have a full-time Twitch. And Albert, he says, you should listen to Trev, Mr. Hoskins. You should listen to Trevor. You really should listen to me, Bobby. Why don't you listen to me, Bobby?
Oh no, that's reminded me of that sketch, The Rally Driver. What's?
Oh dear. Yeah, I know what you're trying to say.
With the pace notes.
Yeah,
Why don't you listen to me? Samir!
Oh, gotta love it. Okay, what do we got here? 52 minutes left in this one. And there's 3 seconds between first and second. And thank you, Albert. He's listening to me now, that's for sure. And I hope everybody is listening at home because we do have a long, long way to go in this one. And you can see there, Cloquet now 3.5 further back, 3.7. And Figo slotting in nicely here. He's got a habit of just minding his own business. No damage, no incidents, and he always appears at the sharp end, Bob. And then we've got Craig down there in fifth, 4.2 seconds off, and there's a few gaps starting to form. Not so much in the midfield because this, look, side by side. We've got Vibesy and Harvey, and is that going to end? Yes, in favour of Vibesy, who gets through and up into 12th. What a battle to come across on the spectator mode there, Bob.
Yeah, so these guys, that fight is carrying on. So you've got Son of Spawn, Mayo, and Vibesy. This trio, yeah, I think they're going to be scrapping it out for quite a while.
Certainly will. Old MacDonald Craig's friends with Old MacDonald, E-I-E-I-O. And on that farm he had a pig. And we'll leave it there, Footnar, because this is the battle, the closest battle, one of the battles on the circuit. 13th position, might even be for 12th position as well, down Conrod Straight. That was a great move, not a place we see too many passing opportunities occur at, especially at that part of the circuit, Bob. You need a big pair of cojones to go through up there, and it didn't worry him at all. Vibesy up to 12th now, 3.6 seconds off Son of Spawn Dad as we come down Murray's corner. 3.6 seconds. It looks less than that, doesn't it? We saw Spawn Dad go through the screen across into lap number 9. I'm thinking, Bob, of pit strategy. When would be the ideal time to come in for a pit stop? It is mandatory, of course, here tonight.
Yeah, I mean, obviously you have some guys that are going to go early, some guys are going to go late. You know, the safe bet is, you know, just your midpoint of the race. So I reckon in the next sort of 15 minutes, we'll start to see, you know, a lot of the field come in. We've already had 1, 2, 3, we've already had 6 pit stops. So out of a 20-car field, we're nearly, you know, we're over a quarter of a way through the field.
And there we have it, and we've got a battle here. Kilroy right behind V8 man, and is that heat? I don't think he's in that battle, is he? Oh, he's going very slowly at the top of the hill. Blue flags are out. And
he's in the wall.
And he's in the wall, and V8 man goes across the curb. And that is not the place you want to be meeting lap traffic, is it, Bob, at that particular spot up the top of the hill?
No, it's so tricky up there, especially in the Porsche, because you know, it's very twitchy. Off throttle, the tail ends can come round. She's got a big old booty,
and not the place to have a wide booty up the top there. You can see Kilroy holds that position for the time being. V8 man had that position down Conrod Straight, and he won't be at all happy with that V8 man. He's still inside that top 10 though. And if you're feeling chatty, leave us a message. Please keep those chat messages coming in. And Vibesy now. P12 doing okay, and he's catching Son of Spawned. It was 3 and a bit seconds now. It's 1.6, Bob. He's flying, this man.
Yeah, I think we're starting to see those that were a little bit too eager on the loud pedal. They might be suffering a little bit with their rears.
And there we have it across the line then. Loving some of these liveries. Get your votes in. There are... Oh, and that was somebody there. Was it Vibesy? He's off the circuit. He's off the circuit and he's run through a few bollards there. Kind of want Bob to read me a bedtime story. It's not... That sounds interesting, doesn't it, Bob? Not sure. We'll have to ask the man. We've got him. I've got him alongside me here in the commentary box. And...
How to take that?
Yeah, I'm still processing that one, but not Vibesy. No, we've lost. We've got Vibesy back, Bob. He's lost a place. I think he's got damage to the front of that number 64 Porsche. And well, it was all looking so good, but the old commentator's curse, Bob, it never fails to let the drivers down, because now he's got damage and he's back down in 13th place.
Yeah, we're over 20 minutes in. You know, some of the guys that are used to running sprint races, you know, they might already be suffering a little bit, especially in these cup cars. You know, if they got something a little bit wrong with their setup, it just might be showing an ugliness now.
And I've got to say that I saw a yellow car, a flash of yellow. Whether that was V8 man.
Yeah, 24. Car number 24.
And V8 man, yep, he's in the pits. We saw him off to the side.
Oh, that's a teleport then.
And that Russian submarine has come back, as he seems to have teleported back into the pits. Hopefully, Bob, that's not his day done and dusted. As Voodoo, the Nigerian prince, I'm from Nigeria. He says, I wish I had a PS5 so I could jump on the track with you. And yes, try and scam me. I thought I got scammed the other day, but that's the story, a long story. I won't share that with you now. But Son of Spawned out inside the top 10. It seems that P10, Bob, is a little bit cursed, speaking of Nigerian black magic, because everyone that's jumped up into 10th has met a premature demise here tonight in this one.
Yeah, the only one that seems to have survived going through that position is Kilroy. So he you know, it looks as if he's settled in and he's there for the long haul. Kilroy is sat in 9th at the moment.
9th place for Kilroy. Let's take a look at some of the other drivers. Saint Sim with that gold livery. Can't go wrong with that, as we're just getting a nice view of the mountain and the tractor there on the side of the circuit. Wonder if that real estate got sold off to the side of the track, Voodoo. Let us know. There was a house for sale up the top of the hill there, Bob, a couple of weeks ago. And some of the drivers wanted to stop and have a look at it and have a bit of an inspection. Beaky, very nice livery there. And we said that some drivers, some of the guys are going to come early and some of them are going to come later. That sounds a bit sus, doesn't it? But we are talking pit stop strategy. Get your mind out of the gutter, please. because we need to know when these drivers are going to start coming in. Branchy now in P15, well and truly down the field. Dask, who's coming around that first corner there. I think that might have been the leader we saw just behind him, I should say. Here he is, P16. So things spreading out at the moment, but we usually see these endurance races, Bob, races almost in two halves, aren't they? We see different stages of the race. You'll get a bit of a quiet time, and then boom! It's all happening once again, isn't it?
Yeah, so with that in mind, I've just jumped back to Binger again just to see how he's faring. So he is closing up on the back of Vibesy and Mayo now. Obviously, Binger with a very early pit stop. Now, if he gets well, he's already got the jump on them. They've got to pit. But it'll be interesting to see if they just let him go through, and can Binger hang on to these tyres, you know, pitting so early?
That is going to be the question we're going to have to answer tonight. 43 minutes to go. Voodoo Nigerian Prince, one for you, Bob. He says, when my PC is fixed, we're doing some Hell Let Loose roleplay. And my legs. Bubba, you got no legs. Thank you, Forrest. And if Bing Dog hasn't been held up by lap traffic, he'll be looking all right. Thank you, Footnar. And thank you, everybody, for chipping in here tonight. Still got 15 people watching us, would you believe? As Vibesy, even with the damage now, wants a little bit of mayo on the end of his fork here, because he's right up behind him now. And
I didn't know what you were going to say then.
Either do I, Bob. And that's the magic that we have here for KRL. How good's Bob, by the way, people? Great stuff. I'm with Bob there. And not sure where that was going either. But Vibes, he hasn't lost a lot of pace despite that turn one incident a couple of laps ago, Bob.
Yeah, it's interesting. The guys, they seem to be running, you know, reasonably, you know, a reasonable pace. But Binger he's climbing over the back of these two now.
Yeah, there we have it. Harvey with his mayonnaise looking car. Vibesy there behind him. And now my Bingerling. And Bingerling wants you to come and play with his Bingerling, because P11, 12th and 13th now are up for grabs. And this chat window, Bob's, caused me nothing but trouble. But there we go, we've moved it again, that's okay. Back on the PC. Big Storm went through, lost the whole motherboard, in fact, Bob. That's how entertaining my week's been. But Binger all up behind Vibesy down the inside. Come on, throw it down the inside. Oh, he had it licked, but he didn't quite have it sent on that occasion.
He'll wait for mountain straight. He should have the drag that he needs up there.
He should have it up there. Pin comment. There we go. My Bing King. I want to see your ding-a-ling. Voodoo, that's a little bit racy for 8:55 p.m. Eastern Time. A little bit earlier where you are. Oh, down. Hello, Mountain Straight.
Here we go.
Here we go. And is he going to get this done? Is he going to get it completed? Yes, you bet he is. And
you
need to work with him there, don't you?
To earlier on, and I believe that you know they would let him go because they would know that he's going to be racing.
Yep. There we have it. Subscribe, Luke. This is fantastic. Hello, Trev. Hello, Luke. We go back a long way, Bob. And Luke is in the chat. And look at that. Subscribed at Tier 1. Subscribed for 2 months. Currently on a 2-month streak. Voodoo, that you'll have to let me know what that means, Bob. But that means that he's an absolute legend. How are we? Get in the chat and let us know what you think of this race, because you've joined us at a very intense time. 2 months subscribed, Bob, to this channel. And Bob, something's happened. Bob.
So just before they were coming into Forest Elbow, Binger just caught the tail of Mayo. Obviously he let off, he's let Mayo regroup, so both cars they're all right. They're both coming down Conrod straight, so hopefully hasn't hurt either one of them.
And let's have a look. Binger. And Luke wants to know, hey Bob, is that Hoskins, better known as Bob Hoskins? Binger's got the pace, and now he's going to whip Mayo up and try and egg him on into a move here, but he stays on the inside.
Here we go.
Here we go. It's not quite here where it gets done, is it, Bob? It's into turn one. Hello, my Bingerling, down the inside. Mayo needs to work with him on that occasion, and he gets through and up into 11th. He says, hello, son of Spawn Dad. I'm coming after you next, Bob.
Yeah, so again, I think, you know, Mayo was very gentlemanly. You know, he stepped to one side going into T1. So yeah, it'll be interesting to see if either one of them are carrying damage, and it'll be interesting to see how Binger progresses from now on.
Over the curves there. You can see Mayo then. He's got Vibesy right behind him. On a different strat. Stop defending. Let Binger chase him down and give us a good finish. Go on, my son. Thank you, Footnar. And I love that camera angle, Bob. How close they get to the walls. It's absolutely incredible. 38 minutes gone. 15 laps. 38 minutes left, I should say. 15 laps gone. And where's our race leader? Voodoo, Nigerian Prince, saying, I swear to God, Binger better not fall victim to the P10 curse. I give you a free pass. A free pass. And there we have it, Nigerian Prince not working his black magic now down there in P10. 15 laps completed, 4.8. That gap, Bob, is, well, it stayed very steady, hasn't it? P1 to P2, 4.8 now at the moment. Are they just biding their time at the front there, trying to outfox each other and start to think about pit stop strategy here with 38 minutes left?
Yeah, I think, you know, oh no, he's dropped another 4 temps. So yeah, no, Wilco might actually be struggling a little bit with the kind of pace that Sidorg's setting up front.
As we're riding now with Jason Wilkinson, Voodoo, he likes to play a risky game here, Bob. He says, I do kind of want to see Wilco Bennett go and wash your mouth out with some mayonnaise and soap, because that is absolutely dreadful. That's terrible. And they say you get nervous when you meet your idols, but when I met Wilco, he handled it really well. And Lukey getting amongst it as well. Gotta love the banter there. And we'll be seeing Jason Wilkinson. By the way, I'll be down there, Grand Prix weekend at Albert Park, because, Bob, I can't afford to go to any other Grand Prix on the calendar.
Yeah, no, it's an expensive game, you know, being a fan of motorsport. I used to spend a ton of money going to all the motorbike races, British Superbikes, World Superbikes, and MotoGP, and yeah, you need a bottomless wallet.
Certainly do. Over there, racing on former airfields from the Second World War, as we've got some traffic now. Blue flags out. Oh, Beaky, who is 3 laps off the... Oh, my goodness. Beaky has gone into the wall. And he hasn't come out from the wall. Oh, he's back in there again.
Yeah, no, that's unfortunate. I think, you know, you can end up in a state of panic when you got, you know, lap traffic around you, and Vibesy just straight through. Takes the shortcut.
There we go. Like that shortcut in Mario Kart. I think it was on the beach, I think. I don't know what I'm on about, but Voodoo, when Wilco meets me, his knees will be weak. Mum spaghetti. Vomit on his sweater already. Thank you, Voodoo. Gotta love a shortcut. And Voodoo has hit a banana. Figo into the pits. Figo into the pits along with Megan Markle as well. But Figo is into the pits. First of the big guns to come in, Bob.
Yeah, so, yeah, the first of the top 10. Well, other than Binger, I mean, obviously that promotes Binger up into 10th. It'd be interesting to see, now Figo has actually pitted, it'll be interesting to see how close him and Binger are on track.
There we have it. We're going to see him and Binger. Where is Binger, please? Thank you. I'm getting there. Burra wants Binger. And here is Binger,
Still a long way to go.
halfway into the race. Thank you for that race control. And where's Binger? Binger P10, Bob, at the moment.
Yeah, no, so Binger has actually made the jump. So if you look at your track map, you can actually see that Binger is ahead of Figo. Figo car number 20.
There we go. So Binger now P8. And Voodoo says, I said I wanted to meet Voodoo in Little Hampshire, South Australia. That's close to where you live, isn't it, Voodoo?
Top three. Top three, all in the pits.
Top three. Forget about that.
All three.
Forget about Little Hampton, because this is it. Look at this, all three. 1, 2, 3 coming in together, Bob.
Right,
coming in together.
Yeah, Binger is just coming up to Forest Elbow now, so this will give us a good indication on if that early pit was a good move or not.
Craig, P4 in as well.
Yeah, it looks as if it's paid dividends with the scrap that he was having with Figo. Let's just see what it does for the lead three.
Binger out, and he's got Spawn Dad. Is that going to affect him here, Bob? Down Conrod straight. And we've got
top 5 all in.
Top 5 into the pits. And then it's Disco Stu, son of Spawn Dad. Binger flying now. He's on a flyer. Through the chase. He's got to get past him quick, though, doesn't he, Bob? Oh, he's going down the outside. I thought he was going to go on the inside, but now he's going on the outside. Son of Spawn doing very nicely. Nice and clean racing there, working with him. But Binger, let's have a look, please. I think the rest of them have come out, though. I think they've come out, Bob. Yep, they have.
There's been a change. There's been a change. Sidorg has actually dropped down to 3rd.
And Sidorg in 3rd.
I wonder if he took tyres.
Did he take tyres? Will that play into his hands later on in the race? I'm made of questions right now, Bob, and that I don't know the answer to. But Sidorg is his 3rd. No, he's 4th, Bob. Good Lord, what is happening here?
Oh yeah, because Disco Stew hasn't pitted yet. Right, okay, so net positions. Wilco is currently in the net 1st. Cloquet, net 2nd. Sidorg, net 3rd. Binger, net 4th. 32
minutes to go. I'm standing up. I'm that excited. Sidorg and Cloquet. There we go. I got it out, Bob. Got it out. Finally. And there we Cloquet. Just had a moment there. Anyway, I'm over it now. And look at this race on, Bob. 32 minutes left. Oh, down the inside he goes defensive. And that's going to leave Sidorg to say, you know what, I'm going to go around the outside down Conrod straight. But Cloquet is going with him. Got it that time, Bob. And they're side by side at the moment. And it's going to be a race down to the chase. That rhymes, Bob. And I've got to say, has he got it done here? You couldn't pick them. You could not pick them.
He's got it done.
He's got it done. I thought they were going to make contact, Cloquet, but the sh is pronounced like chip. Chip. Yep. Okay. Need a bit of time with that one, but thank you. Wow, that was close. Wow. Ooh.
He had to get that done then. He had to get it done.
Had to get it done up to P3, Bob.
He had, I think it was 6 or 7 seconds he had on Wilco. I don't know if that was enough for tyres. This is, yeah.
This is close. This is close. I reckon if he got tyres, it won't be too long, Bob. That 4.4 second gap to P2, Wilco in P2. If he picked up tyres during that pit stop, I don't think it's going to be too long before we see him right back at the sharp end here.
Yeah. Definite. If he took tyres, this is his race.
There we have it, Wilco. He's in to the lead, the number 19, as he passes Disco Stu, who must be on some very worn tyres at the moment. Bob down in P2 has not pitted, the only one of 3 yet to pit. Son of Spawn Dad and Harvey yet to pit, but this 3.2 now, that gap. 3.2 the gap to Disco Stu. Sidorg tracking him down like a piece of prey in the jungle. 3.2, I don't think that's going to last too long there, Bob, before that gets done.
Yeah, no, I think that's going to come down very quickly. obviously Cloquet, you know, there's a bit of reinvigoration in that driver. You know, they're still within a second, so obviously not giving it up.
Down in 19th and 20th, a couple of good-looking blokes down there too. Commentator Trevin Bob, but this is where it's at. Don't look down there, look up the top, because Side Org. Oh, and that Disco Stu got his dancing shoes on and danced his way all the way off the track there, Bob, through the chase.
Yeah, so he was tippy-toeing that.
Into the pits then. So that'll clear Disco Stu off from the top of the leaderboard. Let's just take a breath. That's a sideways polka, if you don't mind, down there in the 48 car, number 16. Oh, look at this. We've raced. We've got 29 minutes to go, Bob. 29 minutes to go. We've been going for 40 minutes, and it's all going to come down to the next 28 minutes. If you know what I'm trying to say, this is going to be tight. It's going to be close, I reckon. 1, 2, 3 here. Very, very shortly, Bob.
Yeah, so Sidorg's the one with the pace advantage at the moment. He's just taken another second out of Cloquet. Binger is actually in 4th now. So that looks as if it's, you know, back to normal. Binger 4th, Figo 5th.
Well, do not go anywhere, ladies and gentlemen, whether you're in South Australia, whether you're in Perth, and you've come over for the week and just for a bit of a holiday, do not go anywhere, or whether you're in Benalla. It's all going to go down in the next 28 minutes. My goodness, what is going through this man's mind? This is... It's round 1 of a new season Cup Car endurance style here at Bathurst. 70 minutes of action here, ladies and gentlemen. And
yeah, Wilco's getting a little sweaty.
He'd be very sweaty.
Cyborg is chewing that gap down.
Oh,
it's down to 1.9 seconds.
1.9. What's he going to do here, Bob? What approach can he take? Does he go? He doesn't want to go too defensive, does he? Because then he's going to have Cloquet and Binger and everybody else up near him, isn't he, if he tries to fight things too much?
Yeah, I think, you know, it might be worth him, you know, swallowing that pill. Let Sidorg go, consolidate, take 2nd place. In all fairness, because the difference in the timing, it's phenomenal.
And you can see there, as Burra, he's a man, though, that doesn't mind a bit of pressure, and you're absolutely spot on. We saw it in the 3-hour endurance race here as he gets past some traffic there sideways. I don't think conceding is in Wilco's plans, to be honest. So, for Burra Dog at least, Bobby thinks things are going to get a little bit spicy here.
Yeah, I mean, Wilco will not want to let that position go 100%, but, you know, it's often, you know, as a man, sometimes you've got to let go of that manliness and just say, okay, let's just take what we can.
Oh, well, you talk about letting go of manliness. This man, oh, he's a bit twitchy there at the top of the hill. He's absolutely on it, but so is Sidorg, and it's really going to come down to Wilco and the size of his plonker, I think, Bob, if I can say that, because
yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
He's not going to want to let this up. As a man of value, a man of honour, win at all costs, and charge, says Burra wants some action, doesn't he? And oh my goodness, that's getting very close. It's getting very close down Conrod Straight. I think they're pretty even in a straight line. But I don't think it's going to be too long before he is right all over the back of Jason Wilkinson, a 2-time champion, Bob, and he won the endurance race the other week. But I've got to say, it's going to take everything to keep this man behind him. He's a pretty handy peddler.
Yeah, exactly. That's 7 tenths on that lap. You know, around a lap like this, 7 tenths is huge.
Well, we've been saying it all night. It's huge. There we go. Well, I won't do that again. 25 minutes to go. First versus second. What is it? It's a second. It's down to a second. And Sidorg Well, at least for us here in the commentary box and everyone watching at home, Bob, at least one thing, he made it interesting, didn't he? Stopping for those extra tyres. It cost him a few seconds, but it's made it interesting.
Yeah, fingers crossed, you know, they jump into the commentary box after the race tonight. It would be interesting to see, you know, did Wilco and everyone else, you know, go for the brave option and didn't take tyres, and did Sidorg, you know, did he realise that he had enough of a buffer to take them, knowing that he would be, you know, he would have the pace to catch and get past them again.
There we go, 24 minutes to go. It's going to be tough. We'll keep an eye on this battle, but there's a couple of other battles going on further down the field. No, the timing screens have updated. Yep, I thought there was a couple of battles going on.
Quite close to Binger.
Yep, Figo and Binger. There we go. But it's hard to take our eyes off. It's hard to take our eyes off this, isn't it, Bob? We've got to say, this is where it's at the moment. Attack, attack, attack. Sidorg doing it every bit of the way. I thought Mayo and Vintage were quite close. Figo and Binger. No, you're right, Bob. That's the other battle going on. Here we go. Here we go. First and second. He's right up behind him here, Bob. Take it away.
Yeah, he's right up his clacker. So yeah, we'll know in the next half a lap what Wilco's intentions are. You know, is it consolidation or is it defend with all your might?
Oh, and that could bring Cloquet in on the action, down into the chase, heading towards Murray's corner. Wilco, we've said it before, he knows how to soak up pressure. But how long can he hold off here? 20, it's not going to, well, it doesn't look like it's going to be for 23 minutes, Bob, but I've got to say, does he just, it's almost coming down to whether he settles for second, but it's going to be tight. We've got traffic as well.
Drive they both get out of here onto Mountain Straight now. Let's see if he hasn't got enough of a slip, actually. He might be heavier on wing.
Oh, so he can't quite get it. You can see he pulls out from behind Wilco there, Sidorg, but well, he seemed he didn't have the legs, did he? Heading up the up Mountain Straight there on that occasion, Bob. So if Wilco can,
that he had the slip.
So if Wilco can keep a wide car here across the top of the mountain, there's it's gonna bring some of these other guys into it, though, isn't it? It's close. It's so tight.
In hell.
Can barely watch.
Yeah. This is proper balls in mouth driving, this is.
And this is so close, Burrow Dog. Really balls in mouth stuff. If you can get that visual out of your head, keep it on this battle here. Oh, this is so tight. And the concentration that these guys with 21, there's only 21 minutes to go, Bob. What's that? How many laps? About 8, 9, something?
Oh, Wilco sideways.
Oh, Wilco sideways. And that is going to put him on the back foot. And he's around. And now yellow flags are out, heading onto Conrod Straight. Wilco spins around and Cloquet is into the lead. And I've got to give it to him.
Sidorg's waiting. Yep. He's giving him it back.
Yep, he's giving him the place back. But
right, fight on.
Oh, and that's going to make it even more interesting, because with 21 minutes to go now, Cloquet leads, and he won't be slowing down for anybody, Bob.
No, we've got another ding-dong going on here. Binger and Figo. They've lost touch with these guys at the front, but Figo's going for it.
And Figo.
He's got it done.
Figo, there. Where's Figo? Show us, bloody hell. Catch up, would you? And Figo's got it. He's got that job done. And very sportsmanlike. Great sportsmanship there from Sidorg to slow down. He gave him a bit of a nudge. Burrow, balls in mouth, says WTF. And yeah, we're not sure what's going on here, but with 20 minutes left, I think Figo's got that one done, Bob, so we might head back to what's happening. And well, did Sidorg get some damage in that? It looked fairly low speed though, didn't it, coming onto Conrod?
Yeah, so he might actually be taking a bit of a breather. I mean, obviously, you know, it's nervy for the person it's chasing. It's nervy for the person that's being chased. So these two might be on a little bit of a mind reset for the next couple of laps.
So 4.1 now, Clocade. He would have thought all of his Christmases, Bob, had come at once. He just come on to Conrod straight there, and it was all happening in front of him, and he just picked his way through it into the lead.
Yeah, no, you be. Thank you very much. See you. Bye.
I'll have goodbye, possums. I'll have some of that, please. And Clocade now leads 4.1 the gap back to Wilco. And even despite that incident on the previous lap, I reckon Wilco's going to earn his money tonight. He's going to have him for company. He's got Sidorg right up behind him. A little bit cleaner this time. I reckon Sidorg, he's got the pace, Bob. Even if he gets past Wilco now.
Yeah, Wilco's struggling a little bit as he goes to throw it into Forest Elbow. He's losing it on entry.
We sure are. Huge, just huge. He redeemed the 250 points. He said, Toto, we went car racing, sorry. And we're going car racing now, huge. Because look at this. Wilco runs a little bit wide. Down the inside, I think he's got him. He's got him, all fair. Wilco running very wide there, flirting with the pit lane entry, but he's got it done now. And now the next question, 18 minutes to go, Bob. 4.2 seconds, so that gap. Now,
I think looking at the car's attitudes, you know, in the way that Wilco's struggling to get the drive out of some corners, he's starting to slide on entry. I think it's only a guess, but I think we were right in what we said earlier. I think Sidorg took tyres, no one else did.
No. It's turned out to be a masterful piece of strategy here tonight. Because it might say 4.2 seconds there from Sidorg to Clocade. It's down to 3.7 now. So now that little battle's fixed itself up. We might go down to Binger and Figo. Figo getting the job done on Binger, but Binger's still right with him there here on lap 24. And that battle's not done just yet, Bob.
Yeah, no, I think that will carry on for the rest of the race. Mayo is pitting from P8. That promotes Mark Ledwidge up into P8.
There we have it. So Mayo in the pits. It is going to be a spicy final 18 minutes. We saw the setup that Voodoo had. He's had some PC issues in the last week or so, but he's got a laptop set up. Best seat in the house, to quote the great man over there in Littlehampton, Murray Bridge, South Australia. Great part of the world. Not too many hills over that way, but a little bit out of Adelaide, I think it is. Might even be a few hills there. Could be even be the Adelaide Hills. You can tell I don't visit there very often, Bob. But I've got to say, Disco Stu now down in 11th. He was looking good a little bit earlier on. And you can see Mayo now down to 11th as he comes out onto a nice clear bit of track, all out on his own, Bob.
Yeah, to be honest, you look at the gaps that there are. The gap between AM and Pro, it's marginal. These guys, you know, deserve a pat on the back. Craig Yu, Mark Ledwidge, Kilroy, you know, they're all sort of thereabouts.
And they certainly are. Pro and AM. The Pro guys versus the AM guys, and you can see Clocade now. He's holding his own. He's doing okay out there in front. But 16 minutes to go. 3 seconds is that gap. As Voodoo.
Oh, who's that?
And have we seen an incident here, Bob? Is someone... Five.
Who's that?
Five.
Heat XL.
And Heat XL 5.5. Oh, you were saying 5.53.
5.53. Yeah.
And the
so yeah, he's at the moment across the top.
And Voodoo confirming the hills. I have more hills on my body than the Adelaide Hills. Thank you, Voodoo, for confirming that. A little bit early to go with something as racy, but Heat XL, what happened there, Bob? He looks to have awful lot of damage here, and I'm sure he'll be coming down Conrod straight into the pits, I think, here.
Yeah, I believe so. He's collected one of the walls going across the top, and he's having to nurse a bit of damage.
Well, one of many walls around this Mount Panorama circuit. But what a spicy night it's been here in the opening round of this new KRL season. Plenty of drivers in the field tonight for the Enduro, the first of the Enduros here. Round one.
Right. Sidorg took 1.2 seconds out of Cloquet on that lap.
As we come up to a bit of lap traffic here through Murray's Corner, onto the start and finish straight, and it's like watching one of those documentaries narrated by David Attenborough, and you're just watching the tiger that's waiting to catch its prey. It's got that feeling about it tonight here, Bob. Not quite how I would have wanted to articulate that, but you understand what I'm trying to say here. It's not going to be if, but it's going to be when.
Yeah, I believe so. The pace difference that he's showing, it's remarkable.
There we have it.
I just hope it is that we got it right and he took the tyres.
Otherwise, he really is taking the mickey, isn't he? If he didn't get those new tyres, he's taken the piss a bit. If he didn't, but I'm pretty sure he did though, Bob. I've got my Assetto ACC sensors tingling when it came to the pit stop. It just seemed like there was that extra time for the tyre change. Of course, mandatory. If you're new to KRL, hello to you. It is mandatory pit stops, Bob, but not mandatory tyres, of course.
Yeah, exactly. So, yeah, you can choose to take 1 litre of fuel, you can take a tank, you know, you can take tyres if you wish. Certain races will suit, you know, trying to hang it out and not take the tyres. Certain races, and I believe this one, I think it would reward those that do take the tyres.
As there we have it, 13 minutes to go now. The shadows are getting long here at Mount Panorama. 6 p.m. start time for the race, so ending a bit after 7 o'clock local time in this computer cybernet Terminator world, Bob, that we're watching this on. But 26 laps. Oh, it's going to be tight. Is it going to be this lap? I've got to say, Bob, I'm not a betting man, but I reckon it is going to be this lap. And the question is, Wilco now's dropped well back, hasn't he, from the front two? 7.2 now behind the top two.
Yeah, he may well have taken some damage. I mean, it wasn't a hard contact initially, but when he spun the car around, I think he may have clipped the rear quarter.
As we can see now, mountain straight through turn one, heading up the mountain now for the 28th time. Here we have it, Sidorg now, less than a second that gap to P1 with a dozen or so minutes. Oh my goodness, this is fantastic! Thank you, Luke, and I don't think we can hear those, can we, Voodoo? But we will get those happening in the not too distant future, those sound effects. But thank you for watching, Luke. Thank you for subscribing. It is a great race so far, and it's an absolute pleasure to bring it to you. And yes, the sound effects are coming through. We do need more of those too, Voodoo. And this, it's about to go down, Bob, I reckon. It's gonna be here. It's gonna be soon. It's gonna be happening very shortly.
Yeah, I think he'll be alongside coming into the chase.
There we have it. So the sound effects are working. They just need to be a little bit louder. Thank you.
Stay off that. Stay off.
And so who's staying off what, please, Bob? What's going on there?
Kilroy had a bit of a moment and he was off on the grass. And obviously we had the two leaders coming past him at a rate of knots.
There we have it. As soon as you look away, something happens, doesn't it? But there we go. And you can see some traffic getting out of the way there. Marshall waving the white flag, but Cloquet's not going to be waving the white flag at the moment. Could he do it? Could he do it, Bob? 10 minutes to go. Could it happen?
Yes, 6 more laps. Let's see what the boys can do.
Well, it's easy up here as Mayo giving his mechanics on the pit wall a good look at the car there. Where is Mayo? Down in 13th, so not travelling too well after that pit stop, is he, Bob? He was inside the top 10 for a fair period of tonight. Now outside that top 10. Speaking of 10, 10 minutes remaining. 6 laps to go. If he just can hang in there, but it's going to be a tall order, isn't it, Bob, to hold this man behind him for the next 6 laps.
Yeah, so we'll see if the pace does drop off. I mean, obviously you got Wilco 8.5 seconds back, so we'll see if Cloquet decides to go defensive, and if it's going to actually, you know, compact this field up a little bit.
And we'll wait and see. Bit of deja vu here about it, Bob. We saw this a few laps ago, didn't we? Between Wilco and Sidorg, and is Cloquet going to do the same thing? Is he going to defend for his life? Is he going to make that Porsche as wide as possible? Because you've got to say now, Bob, don't you, 10 seconds nearly back to P3. It'd be a comfortable P2 for this man, wouldn't it, here tonight?
Yeah, to be honest, I wouldn't want to be under this kind of pressure for that amount of time, so it might just be my age, but I think I'd yield.
Yeah, we get to that stage, don't we, Bob, in life? But then again, pressure, you get diamonds. And Cloquet now, he needs to stay with it. And Figo as well. Keep an eye on that gap. 6.6 seconds, Burra. Thank you. Figo could catch Wilco on this pace at the moment. Oh, he tried to get it done. And that's going to give him another life for another lap, another life.
Yep, that's a little breather that he'll take that.
Well, it's going to be if he can get this done, it's going to be incredible. But I've got to say, your money's got to be on Sidorg now. We might even check out what else is happening. And he's run a little bit wide, so a little bit sloppy here from Sidorg in the last couple of corners, Bob.
Yeah, so I mean, obviously we don't know if he is carrying a tiny bit of damage from earlier, but I mean, we're at that stage. You've been racing over an hour now. You might have a little bit of mental fatigue.
Oh, I'm going to put it to the chat. Can he hold on and win this race tonight? And there we have it. So can he hold on and win the race? Last lap or so, a little bit sloppy, and that is not where you want to be. And Rain of Fire going early, Bob, and backing Cloquet in here as we come up to Beaky. We've got some traffic at the top of the hill. This can play a factor, but some of the back markers... Jesus, Mary and Joseph. Brett has joined us. Brett's Orr. Please follow Brett. Boy, you couldn't have joined us at a better time, Brett. And I've got to go with my boy Side Dog because, oh my goodness, I thought that was going to end in disaster, Bob, there for a second.
Here we go, we've got a tail ender as well.
So we've got one of the tail enders there down the back. Beaky, who's 5 laps down and needs to stay the hell out of the way of this one. I'm sure he will. They're
going to catch him right at the wrong time as well.
They're going to catch him, aren't they? Heading maybe through the chase. Oh, that's close. Big Shep has joined us. Good evening, fellas, from down here at the Warnham Bull, having a few frothies and enjoying the race. Oh, my goodness, the boys have joined.
Tell you what.
Oh, there must be some sweaty armpits going on there in Cloquet's house.
He's really well. Really well. This might be it, though.
Oh, this could be it. Down the inside. Into turn 1. Is he going to outbrake himself? Will that leave him vulnerable? Sidorg up the hill. Beaky out of the way. That's good for him. But now, Cloquet, is he going to have a go here, Bob, with 6 minutes to go?
I tell you what, he might as well. He's got the toe.
He's got the toe.
Going to the outside.
Going to the outside, it's going to be tough, but can he get it done? He is not giving up.
No, he's pretty early.
He's pulled out. He's a racer, though. You've got to love that about him. 5.7 seconds now, the gap between Figo and Wilco, so still on. It's going to be tough for Figo, but he can do it if he's quick enough. And that might be it. That might be done, I reckon, for the race. In terms of the race win. Big Alan Shep joining us down there from Warrnambool. Great part of the world, grew up down there, spent plenty of time down there. Thank you, Big Shep. Let us know if you've headed to the Speedway. Brett, please follow this channel. It'd be great to have you with us. Great move from Sidorg. He got it done eventually, Bob. He had to be patient though, didn't he?
Yeah, and I think Cloquet may have well taken the best option there and just yielded into turn one. He did have a look at him up Mountain Straight, but I think he's probably gone into consolidation mode now. That gap is starting to build.
So there we have it, 4 minutes, 30 seconds remaining. We've seen plenty of racing here. We had 3 hours around here a couple of weeks ago. We had 12 hours around here, Bob, in real life, of course. And now we've had another 70 minutes. And, well, it's been the Bathurst show. Certainly, from my point of view, Bob, I haven't been to too many other circuits recently.
Yeah, no, I must admit, I'd like to go there to watch the racing. I don't particularly like driving the track. You know, I think it's too narrow. It doesn't really afford many overtaking opportunities. But, you know, it is a fan favourite here in Australia. Yeah,
great spectacle, that's for sure. But like you said, it's a funny one. A bit like Monaco, isn't it? It's the one on the calendar everyone wants to win. Not the easiest circuit, but that's what's great about it, I guess, as Sidorg. And now this battle has been done and dusted. We'll check in on your man, Big Alan Shep, down there. Have you been to the Speedway down there lately, Shep? Let us know. He's having a few frothies down there, enjoying this one. And that man has followed the channel as well. I'm starting to lose my voice. But if I lasted for 3 hours the other week, I'm sure I can last an extra 3 minutes. There's your man, third place. How have you seen his race tonight, Bob? It's been a bit of a funny one. After that incident, he just lost a bit of that mojo and gone, isn't it? Now still P3, but will he be happy with that?
I think overall, you know, coming into the race, he didn't feel confident at all. So I think to walk away with a podium, you've got to be happy with it. You know, that spin and, you know, spinning the car around and getting going again, that may have actually killed his tyres. So, you know, he might just be trying to nurse this in. So, no, I think, judging by how he was talking an hour before the race, he's got to be happy with a third.
Yes, he was worried he might not have had enough practice time. Not sure what Vicky was doing there, but in all fairness to him, Bob, it's not the easiest place to get out of the way. I visit around this circuit, especially up at the top of the mountain. And you've got to say, you can't just evaporate, can you, at the top of the hill? And there's not a lot of space between those walls to get out of the way.
No, that's right. To be honest, you know, in all the endurance races that we've done, most people hold position across the top and then let everyone go down Conrod.
There we have it. So Wilco now, P3. Where's Figo? Oh, hello, 4.2 seconds. He's not,
yeah,
not
so
too far back.
He is closing up. There's not enough laps left, though.
I think it might be this one. You reckon, Bob? One more, penultimate lap of the race, I reckon. Where's our race leader?
One more after this. So, yeah, he's just still climbing the hill. Oh, we've got someone off. We've got Heat XL.
Heat XL.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my. Oh, no. And
right, so Sidorg will have taken big damage there.
And
so
we've got a traffic jam, Bob. What on earth is happening there? The drivers, those yellow flags, like that dickhead Marshall's waving a green one. What on earth is happening at the top of the mountain? Drama here with less than a minute to go in this race. Yellow flags are out. And I don't think he's going to move, is he? Let's head to the chopper.
I think he's trying to spin it around. But
Austin Powers, 3-point turn. There we go.
Oh, his car's toast.
And he might have
turn right. It will not turn right.
He is not going any further. Waving the white flag, all right, but that has well, who ended up involved in that one? Was it Sidorg met him at the top of the hill and just it's a blind corner up there?
Yeah, he's come around a blind corner. There are 3 cars static, completely blocking the track. he had nowhere to go. He tried to squeeze between the bum of a car and a wall. So yeah, he will have taken big damage. I should go to replay to see who it was.
Well, the only question is it enough? Damn, I don't think it's going to have too much of an impact, or is it? We can see in the background, and that is it. That was the last lap of the race. Sidorg takes a victory here for round one, the first of the Enduro Cup rounds here for KRL season number 4. Clocade finishes in second, Wilco in third, Figo ended up 3.7 seconds further back at the end, Binger in fifth. As we look at Vintage Racer coming up to the final corner, he's going to finish in P6. He's, well, it looks like a fairly undamaged car there, Bob, and he's kept to himself, and he's got a habit of doing this. This man, he just gets the thing home in the top 6, very reliable.
Yeah, no, he keeps his nose clean and, goes about his business nice and quietly, and, he mounts the points. Very good, very good.
Brett Zor is now following this channel. Thank you, Brett. Absolute pleasure to bring this to you. Numbers looking good. Vintage Racer getting into the donuts. 26 people watching. Still with us, Bob, here. Bullseye, if you don't mind. Kid Byers and Bullseye Bobby alongside you. Well done, Sidorg.
Twitchy takes 8th. Dask is heading down.
We're still racing, aren't we?
In 9th. Yeah, he's got Disco Stew right up his hoop.
Yep, there we have it. So thank you, Shep. Disco Stew right up Dask's Ginger. And there we have it. Well done, Sidorg. Clocade, great drive. Wilco podium, solid as always. Thank you for following Fuller Boy 5. Great to bring you this race here tonight. This is for the top 10, if you don't mind. Is he going to have a crack? No, he's not. And I think they're going to get it done. And Big Alan Shep says, yes, the running of the 50th Classic results. Brock Selden Lachlan, 41st year of attending down at the Warrnambool Speedway. Absolutely love it. The man moved down there a few years ago, having a great time. Vibes, he's in the pits. I think that is the final. We got Saint Sim still running, I think, in this one, down in 14th, or is he finished? I think he's still going,
no,
is
he's
he?
Finished.
No, he's finished.
He's got the good flag. Yeah. Just
Wow.
doing a warm-down lap.
Well, Sidorg getting the fastest lap at the end of that race, but how hectic that could have, well, it did mix things up a little bit, but drama, absolute drama to finish the race, Bob. I thought we were done for drama tonight, but we weren't.
Yeah, so, I didn't get a chance to go into the replay to see who it was, but yeah, 3 cars strewn across the top of the mountain, no track left. Yeah, and unfortunately, Sai collected one of them. So,
wow, that is a classic race, classic way to finish a classic race. As you can see, Wilco saying, my wrists are so sore from that race, but fun, great stuff.
Need to get yourself to the gym, get rid of those noodle arms.
Chat, I beg your pardon. Yeah, I'm back now. We'll get Wilco into the chat along with Sidorg and Clocade there. As we take a look at Sideways Plonker. Sideways Plonker. Oh, dear. Oh, boy. It's been a long night, hasn't it? We'll get back to the garage. There we go. What, Bob, help me out.
I'll tell you what we didn't discuss. We didn't discuss a driver of the day in any shape or form.
No, we didn't do that.
Because it was all just happening all the way through. I mean, for me, I know Sidorg's got pedigree. He always has had. For me, the standout, looking at that top 5, 6 drivers, Clocade. I don't think I've seen Clocade that high up the order before.
No, it was a fantastic race, wasn't it?
I think that's a good drive.
Cloquet for driver of the day. That is a pretty solid bet. Get your votes in for driver of the day. Could even be sideways. Polka down there in 15th. Just not sure where I was going there, but so there we have at the end of the race. Sidorg picks up the win in the opening round of the KRL season. Cloquet in second. That is Bobby's driver of the day. As we are in a very, very smooth chopper ride up here, Bob. As you can see there in the pit lane, Figo in fourth. Didn't quite get to Wilco in the end. And then it was Bingerling. Vintage Racer in sixth, so the pro guys doing okay. And Craig E-I-E-I-O down there in seventh. And then Markled, and then Dask and Disco Stu, who was in the lead, wasn't he, Bob, briefly? In the race.
He was I think the last of the pitters. So yeah, he adopted the lead for half a lap, I think it was.
And he finished in 10th place. Vibesy in 11th. Son of Spawn Dad in 12th. Mayo in 13th. Saint Sim 14th. Polka, not Plonka, Polka there in 15th. Kilroy 2 laps down. Heat 4 laps down. Beaky with that jazzy looking livery 5 laps down. Branchy 15 laps down, I beg your pardon. And V8 Man 21 laps. He had an incident, didn't he, Bob? I think, and he entered the pit lane.
Both of them.
So there we have it. Well done, Wilco. You will take tomorrow off with those sore wrists, and if Voodoo is out there, hopefully he's inviting people into our commentary box to talk with us.
We've got Sidorg, we have got Wilco. So all we are needing is Cloquet.
So there we have it. So we might go to the Colonel. Sidorg, are you there? Can you hear us?
Hello.
Hello, g'day. How you going, mate? Talk us through that race. A couple of questions for you. Well, first of all, give us a bit of a summary of how you went tonight. And the question we were asking ourselves, mate, did you whack some tyres on there in the pit stop?
I did, mate. The first stint, Jason was staying with me the whole way, and I could feel the car was beginning to slide a bit, and I was like, oh, I don't know whether to do this. But then when I hit the, I figured it would take me about 6 or 7 seconds to change the tyres, and then I figured he probably wouldn't. But I, with the way the car was behaving before the stop, I kind of figured, no, I'll just go back to basics and get a good run to the finish. And I'm quite surprised at how fast it was, and I'm also quite surprised that nobody else tried that one. Because it became quite apparent quite quickly out of the pits that I had a massive grip advantage over everybody. So
yeah, it was about 1.5 seconds per lap.
Yeah, I know. So it only took a couple of laps to make up the time from the stop, but it obviously meant I had to try and pass people. And my car had really heavy aero, so it was quite hard to pass anybody because I couldn't get near anybody on the straights. But it kind of paid off in the end.
Yeah, that was the second question I had burning in my mind, because there were a couple of occasions that you closed right up to the back of Wilco, and you just didn't have the legs to be able to pull out from behind him.
Yeah, and Wilco was really strong on the brakes too, so I couldn't really send any big dives without sending us both in the scenery. Although I did end up sending us both into the scenery, because I wasn't expecting him to be quite so slow on the exit, but I guess with his tyres being worn, and gave him the lightest nudge of all time. Like, it was a feather. But then,
we were sat in with you at the time. It was, a gentle nudge, which, the arse end just round she went.
Absolutely. But then it created a good finish, didn't it? It was good. And Cloquet did really, really well.
Fantastic stuff, mate. Congratulations. Awesome job here. You've taken, you're the king of the mountain tonight, mate. You've won round 1 of the new season. And, congratulations, mate. Fantastic job.
Thank you kindly.
Great stuff. Sidorg there, the great man taking the win tonight. Great sportsmanship as well after that incident we mentioned. Coming on a Conrod straight with Wilco. I can't see our other man. No, he's come in now. Come in, Cloquet. And what a performance from this man. P2 tonight. And he had to absorb plenty of pressure there in the final part of the race, mate. Talk us through it tonight. P2. You got to be happy with that one. Podium finish, round 1 of the new season.
Oh, he's muted.
I was hoping he'd unmute himself there when I put that to him. But there we go. If you can hear us, Cloquet, let us know. Give us a wave. Something. I'm going to give this about 3 more seconds. There he is.
Here we
He's
go.
joined us. Yep.
Hey, boys.
Mate.
How are you, boys?
Absolute career best form, if you don't mind, Cloquet. But talk us through the race tonight, mate. P2 in the end, and you had a good old ding-dong battle with Sidorg at the end as well.
Yeah, it was a tough one. I assumed he had the fresher tyres on, and yeah, it was going to be tough to keep him behind me. I think I went a bit too hard too early, trying to keep up with Wilco, but yeah, I was pretty surprised when they come together there.
Yes, we were very surprised too, weren't we, Bob, when that happened? And it must have been quite the sight, Cloquet, to come down the mountain and see those two having a bit of a battle, and you just sort of cleared the path and away you went.
Yeah, I thought it could have been a bit of a Bradbury moment, but yeah, it wasn't to be.
No,
but I tried to hold him off there for a little bit, but yeah, too good in the end.
Great stuff, mate. Well, you took the silver medal in the end, mate. P2, congratulations.
Cheers, fellas.
Thank you. As we move along, thank you for the follow here tonight. We've clicked over 100 followers, but thank you as we head to our man in P3. He was right amongst the action early on, and he's got sweaty, sore wrists. I'm going to give him the day off tomorrow, Bob. That's how serious this is. But Jason Wilkinson, have you got us there?
Yeah, I do. I'll let my boss know that my virtual commentator said I can take the day off, so we'll do.
That's all right.
I'm sure you understand.
I'd love to be there when...
And the backup commentator said, "Get to the gym, noodle arms."
Yeah. No, it's noodle wrists. My wrists are Gornskis, but that was good. I feel like I actually won't finish my joke. It's right. No, that was a good race. Awesome start, and yeah, got Cloquet, and then was just trying to keep up with Sidorg as much as I could, but way too much pace. And then the incident was just a racing incident. I don't know if you saw, I had a massive moment through the right-hander. So then I've locked them all 4 wheels up, tried to turn it in, had too much speed. So then I've sort of had to run a high line, but didn't want to squeeze the throttle on and loop it. And it was just a very light touch. It was just that awkward angle. I couldn't flick spin to the left because then I would have taken out Cloquet. So I had to flick spin to the right. And then tyres were done after that. But credit to Simon. He slowed up, redressed, and away we went. He was too good in the end anyway. So I'm sure he would have got me within that last 20 minutes. So but good fun.
Great stuff.
No, it was awesome scraps all the way through. You top 3. It was great racing, all 3 of you.
And fantastic to see. First, second, and third. Sidorg winning, Cloquet second. We'll go in third. They had fantastic battles, each and every one of them. The old wristy, says Luke. Hashtag wristy Wilco, getting it trending there. It's going to hit Carrum Downs very shortly, Jason. So stay tuned for that. We are almost out of time, Bob. It's been an absolute pleasure to call the race alongside you. We're back for another season, mate.
Yeah, no, great to get this off and running again, and what a race to start the season.
Absolute incredible race. That was an Enduro round, of course, on our Season 4 calendar. Stick around next week. The 16th of February, we will be at the Indianapolis Motor Speedway, and that will be a normal race. But, Bob, there's nothing normal about a race when you and I are in the commentary box. It's been an absolute pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, to bring it all to you. As Big Alan chipped in here, we'll go nibble chicken drumsticks. So shots fired there from Big Wilco down in Warrnambool. But that's all. We're out of time. Thank you to everybody for watching. Thank you, Bob.
Thanks for having me, boys.
Absolute pleasure each and every week. Stay tuned next week for round 2 of the new KRL season, coming to you from Indianapolis. It'll be the Brickyard on the 16th of February. Stay kind to one another, be good, and we'll see you then. Bye for now.
Woo-wee.